Sakale samana koride sakati dehonata yata yata. Sakale samana koride sakati dehonata yata yata. Sakale samana koride sakati dehonata yata yata. Tabe turgani bho harinama sukhe aparadha abhata. Tabe turgani bho harinama sukhe aparadha abhata. Tabe turgani bho harinama sukhe aparadha abhata. Harinama sukhe aparadha abhata. Gurudev kripa bindu diya kore dashe trinabhekadina. Gurudev kripa bindu diya kore dashe trinabhekadina. Kabe no kripa labi jana kritate hoi meta. Kritate hoi vinata. Kabe no kripa koi vinata. Kritarte hoi vinata. Kabe no kripa kabe jana kritate hoi vinata. Sakti buddhihina amiyati dina toramore atma sata. Sakti buddhihina amiyati dina koromore atma sata. Gurudev kripa bindu diya kripa trinabhekadina. Kripa bindu diya Gurudev dashe trinabhekadina. Yogyata vichare किछु नहीं पाए तुम्हारा करुणा सारा. किछु नहीं पाए तुम्हारा करुणा सारा. योग्यत विचारे किछु नहीं पाए तुम्हारा करुणा सारा. करुणा ना होइले कांदिया कांदिया प्राण ना राखिब आरा. Karuna na hoile kandiya kandiya prana na rakibo ara. Prana na rakibo ara. Prana na rakibo ara. Gurude kripa bindu diya karo edashe Trina pe Caitanya Gurude kripa bindu diya karo edashe Trina pe Caitanya Sakala sahane baladiya karo nijamane spriya hina. Sakala sahane baladiya karo nijamane spriya hina. Sakala sahane baladiya karo nijamane spriya hina. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Karo Darshe Trina Pekatina. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Karo Darshe Trina Pekatina. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Karo Darshe Trina Pekatina. Ohi Vaishnav Thakur Jaya, 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 Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. O Gurudev, please give to the servant just one drop of mercy. I'm lower than a blade of grass. Give me all the help. Give me strength. Let me be as you are, without desires or aspirations.
O my Lord and Master, please invest me with the power to honor all living beings properly. Only then will I sing the holy name in great ecstasy, free of offenses.
O Lord and Master, when will such mercy fall to this weak and foolish devotee? Please make me your beloved servant.
When I examine myself, I find nothing of value. Therefore your mercy is essential to me. If you are not merciful, I shall weep and weep. I shall not maintain my life.
Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Kadalmayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Badakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Bhaganatam Vitam Dam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savaditam Purichanan Saritam Shri Krishna Caitanya Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitam Scha Hey Krishna Sindhu Dinabando Jagatpate Gopisha Kapinakanta Vadakanta Namostute Chayatam Surito Pangor Mama Manda Matergati Matsar Basva Padambo Jo Vada Madanamo Divyadvenduranya Kalpajumada Shimad Ratna Gara Singha Sanasto Shimad Radha Shilagovinda Devo Pistala B Savimano Swarami Shiman Rasa Rasarambi Bamsi Bhatta Tatasti Tat Karshan Venu Svanar Gopira Gopinatha Suyestuna Bhakta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Chapatitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Ādi-līlā Chapter 7, Lord Chaitanya and 5 features. Text 74. Yes? I don't know if anybody remembers.
I believe so. 73 should have a long purport, and then we can read a long purport.
It's a long purport, 73, yeah. Did we read it all?
Yeah.
We did?
Kalki did it last week.
Okay, verse 74. Nama Vino Kali Kale Nahi Ara Dharma Sarva Mantra Sara Nama E Shastra Marma. In this age of Kali there is no religious principle other than the chanting of the holy name, which is the essence of all Vedic hymns. This is the purport of all scriptures. Purport. The principles of the Parampara system were strictly honored in previous ages. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Dwapara Yuga, but in the present age, Kali Yuga, people neglect the importance of this system of Shrota Parampara, or receiving knowledge by disciplic succession. In this age, people are prepared to argue that they can understand that which is beyond, that they can understand that which is beyond their limited knowledge and perception through so-called scientific observations and experiments, not knowing that actual truth comes down to man from authorities. This argumentative attitude is against the Vedic principles, and it is very difficult for one who adopts it to understand that the holy name of Krishna is as good as Krishna himself. So this is the important principle, that because we are subordinate, our constitutional position is to be dominated. There's the predominator and the predominated. So if we don't accept that, then everything that we do is just simply illusion. And actually that's Krishna's mercy, to give us illusion. Because if we turn away from what is our constitutional position, we should more or less extinguish ourselves, just like this Mayavad in Buddhist philosophy, just nothingness. Just course, the so-called neo-Mayavad Buddhists today, they're just, they're just cheaters because they're not even trying to negate things. They're just trying to, just take anything they can grab on the way, running through the supermarket of sense gratification. So, make a knowledge fashionable to whatever it is they're thinking. So, ultimately, because the Vedic knowledge, Vedanta Veda Chaham, is Krishna himself, just as one cannot understand Krishna unless one has absolute submission and surrender, so in the same way, one cannot understand knowledge unless one surrenders. This argumentative attitude is against the Vedic principles, and it's very difficult for one who adopts it to understand that the holy name of Krishna is as good as Krishna himself. Since Krishna and his holy name are identical, the holy name is eternally pure and beyond material contamination. It is the Supreme Personality of Godhead as transcendental vibration. The holy name is completely different from material sound, as confirmed by Narottam Das Thakur. Golokera Premanana Harinama. The transcendental vibration of Harinam Sankirtan is imported from the spiritual world. Thus, although materialists who are addicted to experimental knowledge and the so-called scientific method cannot place their faith in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is a fact that simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra offensively, one can be freed from all subtle and gross material conditions. Can I see the Upikana Upadesh?
That's my favorite.
Not far from the ocean there lived a frog in a well. Rivet, rivet. The frog was in fact born and brought up within the said well and never went outside. It was still a very puffed up and proud creature.
Wow, what a handsome frog.
Yeah. Then the little frog had gone out of the well and seen the vast ocean and tried to tell the big frog about it. The frog used to think that it was the sole proprietor of the well. It even surmised that the well was tantamount to the world, and as such, the frog considered itself the lord of the whole world.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
So going back home, back to Godhead, means to give up all attachment to this planet that we're living on as some sort of desirable place to set up a permanent homestead. You have to prepare to leave it all behind without any attachment. One day, another frog from the seaside came across the well, and by chance it fell in to the well. The resident frog took the seaside frog to be new prey, and as such jumped upon it, but realizing soon that it was another frog that was just a little different. So the resident frog asked the newcomer, "Where do you come from?" The seaside frog answered, "From the seaside." Hearing this, the well resident inquired, "How small is the sea compared to my well?" The seaside frog laughed. "The sea is beyond any comparison with this well." The well frog was surprised. "Is it this large?" Saying this, he gave a long leap. Seaside frog, "How long of a jump can you attempt? The sea is far bigger than your well." Then the well frog jumped from one end to the other end of the well and shouted, "Impossible! Nothing larger than this can exist." At this, the seaside frog said, "Please make an effort to look above this well and see how large the ocean actually is." The well frog scoffed. "You appear to be extremely fanatical. I am sure that the ocean may very well be as large as this well. I am not so narrow-minded that I am not going to declare my well the biggest place of all. Your ocean must be as big as my well, because water is there in both the places." See, that's the great liberality of the scientist, right? So open-minded, right? "This is my strong conviction. You must simply be boasting about your ocean like a fanatic for your own satisfaction." Fanatical, sentimental devotees. Purport: in the material world as well, there are many so-called pedantic, compromising pundits and scientists who insist that their own viewpoints are the best ones, but ultimately fail to support their own hypotheses. They finally try to equate devotional service with other types of services. They behave just like highly learned Dr. Frogs, but in fact their perception about devotional service is far from satisfactory. Where's the one where, the little the frog says, "No, bigger, bigger, bigger"?
I don't think it's in this one.
Not in this one? And he puffs himself up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Come on.
Close up.
Yeah, 6 times bigger.
Yeah.
I actually read it in
What channel?
It's not in here?
I don't think so. Good news is your carnations are right.
The good news is that you're speaking in the way I can understand? What?
Your carnations are right.
Oh. You could have gotten 2 or 3 different kinds, like Kalki gets.
Okay.
Packages. But you're learning. All right. Well, here's another nice one in this vein. Seeing the sun in the night. A fanciful landlord, or as they might have said like 80 years ago, a dandy,
Wow.
once became very anxious to see the sun in a new moon night. The flattering sycophants of the landlord said When you, O our Lord, small letter L, desires, it must be fulfilled. We should set up in this world such an extraordinary, exemplary deed so that everyone will glorify you and follow the same example. Flattering thus, one of the sycophants brought in a huge lantern and held it up towards the sky, saying, "Look here, my lord, can you see the sun?" So he wanted to see the sun in the middle of the night because he's such a great personality. Two other sycophants then pleaded, "Oh, the sun cannot be seen with such a little amount of light from one lantern. Let us arrange for 10 crores of candle power lighting." So even that was arranged for as the landlord desired. There's in the Prabhupada Nectar book, one temple, Prabhupada was there and the devotee was cleaning the chandelier, and one of the fine crystals from the chandelier, when he was cleaning, fell down and shattered on the ground. And Prabhupada said, "What is that sound?" And then the devotee, "I'm sorry, Prabhupada, was cleaning the chandelier and the crystal broke." And he kind of chastised him that it's expensive and you should be more careful. And then he went on to tell a story that there used to be a zamindar who's very, very rich, and he didn't really know how to spend his money. He had so much money. So there was a similar situation. The chandelier was being cleaned and the servant was cleaning it and it broke, and the zamindar came out. "What is that sound?" And he was like, his fawning sycophant servant, "Oh, I'm sorry, my lord, I broke the chandelier crystal. It won't happen again. I'm so sorry." He said, "Break another one." "What do you mean? That was such a wonderful sound. Break another one." He threw it down. "Do it again. Throw it down." And the whole chandelier was smashed because he just enjoyed hearing the unique sound of the crystal smashing on the floor. And so he said, so we're not like that, we don't know how to spend money, we don't want to just throw money on the ground, just to hear what it sounds like when it smashes. Let us arrange for 10 crores of candle power lighting. So even that was arranged for as the landlord desired. Some of the scientific-minded friends of the landlord made an attempt to show the sun to the landlord with the help of a powerful electric lighting arrangement. But all such efforts made by the scientists concerned were simply in vain. Then a considerate person who was present there explained to the landlord that he could never see the sun in the night, even if all the electric lighting arrangements in the world were assembled together. It would simply be a wastage of power, money, and time. So he must wait till the sunrise to see the sun. Only with the help of sunshine can one see the sun. The sun can never be seen with the help of any other artificial light. Purport: similarly, every attempt of the materialistic scientists, archaeologists, and other people under illusion to see and realize the eternal form of the transcendental Supreme Lord, full of bliss and knowledge, with the help of so-called mundane knowledge acquired through material senses and speculative reasoning, is only self-deceiving. Who are you? My name is Maya, and an illusion is my game. As the sun can never be seen in the night, even with the help of hundreds of artificial lighting arrangements, similarly the constitutional form of Lord Sri Hari and the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas is never visible through hundreds of attempts with the help of so-called mundane knowledge acquired by the material senses of the living entities. As the sun is visible only in the sunlight, realization of the truly constitutional forms of Lord Sri Hari, Guru, or the Vaishnavas will only be possible under their mercy. The spiritual master cannot be assessed through a slighted understanding. Any living entity conditioned under illusory mentality cannot make a proper assessment of Lord Krishna, the supreme controller of illusion, and of the real Vaishnava who is conversant with Krishna consciousness. Thus, although materialists who are addicted to experimental knowledge and the so-called scientific method cannot place their faith in the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, it is a fact that simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra offenselessly, one can be freed from all subtle and gross material conditions. The spiritual world is called Vaikuntha, which means without anxiety. In the material world, everything is full of anxiety, Kunta, whereas in the spiritual world, Vaikuntha, everything is free from anxiety. Therefore, those who are afflicted by a combination of anxieties cannot understand the Hare Krishna mantra, which is free from all anxiety. In the present age, the vibration of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the only process that is in a transcendental position beyond material contamination. So in the same way that one cannot take to the chanting of Hare Krishna and stick to it ultimately if one has any ulterior motive. Since the holy name can deliver a conditioned soul, it is explained here to be Sarva Mantra Sar, the essence of all Vedic hymns. A name that represents an object of this material world may be subjected to arguments and experimental knowledge, but in the absolute world, a name and its owner, the fame and the famous, are identical. So that's why it's so important that we chant Hare Krishna with strict determination and vow, because all other names and forms are just, especially in this age of Kali Yuga, just filled with so much contradiction, confusion, changing, disappointment. Krishna is always beyond anxiety, always very, very happy. So hence, chant Hare Krishna and be
happy.
That's right. Fame and the famous are identical, and similarly the qualities, pastimes, and everything else pertaining to the Absolute are also absolute. Although Mayavadis profess monism, they differentiate between the holy name of the Supreme Lord and the Lord Himself. For this offense of Namaparad, they gradually glide down from their exalted position of Brahmagyan, as confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.2.32, Aruya Krachena Parampadam Tada Patanti Ado Nidrata Yusman Angraya. The position of Brahmagyan, they nevertheless fall down due to imperfect knowledge of the absolute truth. Although they profess to understand the Vedic mantra Sarva Klavinam Brahma Chandogi Upanishad, which means everything is Brahman, they are unable to understand that the holy name is also Brahman. If they regularly chant the Maha Mantra, however, they can be relieved from this misconception. Unless one properly takes shelter of the holy name, he cannot be relieved from the offensive stage in chanting the holy name.
Wow.
Spitting upwards. A spoiled child insisted that his parents should bring down the moon and the stars from the sky. However, his parents tried hard to convince him that it is beyond one's ability to even touch them, but the boy paid no heed to their words. Then the parents took the boy upon the roof of a very high skyscraper. Finding even then that the moon and the stars were still beyond reach, the boy became furious with the sky and shouted at it, saying, "Damn sky! Why do you have to hold the moon and the stars so high? Look how I will now make you feel the evil consequences." Ha ha! As he was cursing thus, the idiot boy started spitting up at the sky in great disgust. But obviously, every drop of his spit fell back in his own face. Purport: those who prefer to blaspheme the highest order of the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas are simply attracting utter disgrace upon themselves. As such, it is advised that all insignificant living entities should better try to take shelter of the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas in order to be assured of their own well-being. Text 75. Eta Bali Eka Sloka Sikaila More Kante Kari E Shloka Karya Vichare. After describing the potency of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, my spiritual master taught me another verse, advising me to always keep it within my throat. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva 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 Gatir Anyata. Gati is translated as progress. Translation: for spiritual progress in this age of Kali, there is no alternative. There is no alternative. There is no alternative to the holy name. The holy name. The holy name of the Lord. Purport: for progress in spiritual life, the Shastras recommend meditation in Satya Yuga, sacrifice for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu in Treta Yuga, and gorgeous worship of the Lord in the temple in Dwarpa Yuga. But in the age of Kali, one can achieve spiritual progress only by chanting the holy name of the Lord. This is confirmed in various scriptures. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there are many references to this fact. In the 12th canto, 351, it is said, Kaler dosayana deva jan asti eka mahadguna kirtanadeva krishnasya mukta sangha parambaje. In the age of Kali, there are many faults, for people are subjected to many miserable conditions. Yet in this age, there is one great benediction. Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one can be freed from all material contamination and thus be elevated to the spiritual world. The Narada Pancharatra also praises the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra as follows. The essence of all Vedic knowledge, comprehending the three kinds of Vedic activity, Karma Kanda and Upasana Kanda, the Chandis or Vedic hymns, and the processes for satisfying the demigods is included in the 8 syllables Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. This is the reality of all Vedanta. The chanting of the holy name is the only means to cross the ocean of nescience. Similarly, the Kali Santarana Upanishad states, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. These 16 names, composed of 32 syllables, are the only means to counteract the evil effects of Kali Yuga. In all the Vedas, it is seen that to cross the ocean of nescience, there is no alternative to the chanting of the holy name. Similarly, Sri Madhvacharya, while commenting upon the Mundaka Upanishad, has quoted the following verse from the Narayana Samhita. Drapayer Janer Vishnu Pancharachais tu Kevalai Kalu tu Nama Matrena Pujite Bhagavan Hari. In Dwarpa Yuga, one can satisfy Krishna or Vishnu only by worshipping him gorgeously according to the Pancharatriki system. But in the age of Kali, one can satisfy and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead simply by chanting the holy name. In his Bhakti Sandarbha text 284, Srila Jiva Goswami strongly emphasizes the chanting of the holy name of the Lord as follows. Srila Jiva Goswami states that the substance of all the Vedic mantras is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Every mantra begins with the prefix Nama Om and eventually addresses by name the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By the supreme will of the Lord, there is a specific potency in each and every mantra, chanted by great sages like Narada Muni and other rishis. Chanting the holy name of the Lord immediately renovates the transcendental relationship of the living being with the Supreme Lord. So this is very, very nice. Always good to keep this in mind. Just like Lord Chaitanya prays, somehow or other I've fallen into this ocean of birth and death. I am your eternal servitor, i.e. Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram. Please reinstate me, renovate me. Just like, I don't know, do they have here in the New York Metropolitan, one of these big museums, maybe Paris or London, King Tut's tomb, you know, they had to excavate the mummy out of the ground. They had to, you know, archaeologically renovate and then make them all spiffy and shiny and put them in the museum and charge money. So, anyway, we have our original relationship with Krishna, and it simply needs to be uncovered. That's why Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta have urged us, don't make Krishna wait. We've been making him wait for so many lifetimes, rotting in this King Tut's tomb of the material world, and we should renovate and do it quickly in this very one lifetime and go back home, back to Godhead, and make Krishna happy that we're there with him again. That is the climatic, ecstatic, happy ending to the Brihad Bhagavatam Amrita of the re-emergence of the devotee, ultimately Sarupa, in his friendly cowherd boy relationship with Krishna. And Krishna himself was like, my dear friend, I've been waiting so long for you to come back. This is the Lord's anxiety for all the conditioned souls in the material world. And that's why Prabhupada proclaims, just like when Lord Chaitanya asked Haridas Thakur, how will all these Yavanas and Malechas be delivered? I can't see any way. Haridas Thakur, who is the, Prabhupada describes in the introduction to the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, did you have a dean in NYU?
Yeah.
So Haridas Thakur was the dean of the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the authority. So he's the greatest authority on the process of chanting Hare Krishna. And he said, my Lord, do not worry, because the loud chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra will renovate everyone's original devotional service, and they will all go back home, back to Godhead. So we are serving Srila Haridas Thakur and all the pure devotees in disciplic line from Lord Chaitanya, who wanted the widespread, loud chanting of the Hare. Of course, as much as we can make it loud and not get thrown out of the subway or the park, right? Renovates the transcendental relationship of the living being with the Supreme Lord. To chant the holy name of the Lord, one need not depend upon other paraphernalia. Of course, we have the cart, and we got the drum and the harmonium, and we got those big shakers given by Aish, and then we have Fisherman's Friends, and we have lights, and we've got little, what else do we got in there?
Little tea lights.
Huh?
Little tea lights.
Right, tea lights, you know. But if all that comes away, you know, we ain't got nothing, you know, we just got hands to clap, then we can chant, we can clap our hand, and if somehow we become crippled, then we can't move our arms, then we still got our mouth, right? You know, but, you know, you got to be chanting the pure holy name. Because if you're not doing that, then you got nothing. And you ain't got nothing, you ain't got nothing, you ain't giving nothing, and you ain't... Because you got nothing. Right. Paraphernalia. For one can immediately get all the desired results by linking with the Supreme Personality of God. It may therefore be questioned why there is a necessity for initiation, or further spiritual activities and devotional service for one who engages in the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. The answer is that although it is correct that one who fully engages in chanting the holy name need not depend upon the process of initiation, generally a devotee is addicted to many abominable material habits due to material contamination from his previous life. In order to get quick relief from all these contaminations, it is required that one engage in the worship of the Lord in the temple. The worship of the deity in the temple is essential to reduce one's restlessness due to the contaminations of conditioned life. Thus, Narada in his Panchatriki Vidhi and other great sages have sometimes stressed that since every conditioned soul has a bodily concept of life aimed at sense enjoyment, to restrict this sense enjoyment, the rules and regulations for worshipping the deity in the temple are essential. Srila Rupa Goswami has described that the holy name of the Lord can be chanted by liberated souls, but almost all the souls we have to imitate are conditioned. It is advised that one chant the holy name of the Lord without offenses and according to the regulative principles, yet due to their past bad habits they violate these rules and regulations. Thus the regulative principles for worship of the deity are also simultaneously essential. So of course, our book distribution, Prabhupada told the devotees on traveling Sankirtan, the books are your deities. And especially now, these days, temple worship or temple living is very, very difficult, and there's not much clear separation between the genders, and Prabhupada would warn his brahmacharis, don't cook in the kitchen with women, and devotees and brahmacharis shouldn't be on the altar with women, because, what are you going to call it, sparks and electricity and like that. It happened in the case of Prabhupada's personal servant. Prabhupada, don't do it, and he did it, and kaboom, you know, or kerplunk, or whatever. So, I remember in 55th Street, there was 3 altars, Gaura-Nitai, Radha Govinda, and Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, and they would have, at least I remember Mangal Arati, 3 pujaris offering simultaneously, just like Krishna Balaram Mandir. And they were all men, and the men did all the dressing. I don't even remember seeing any women in the pujari room. I mean, of course, I was always out on Sankirtan, I don't know, but, you know, it was just so much bliss leaping in the air all the time, I don't really remember very much more, you know. So, any questions or comments?
So, in the verse, purport here.
Look at the smoke in the kitchen and the smell and the door closed and all that stuff. Yes?
Purport of the
Is this door closed?
It is.
Okay.
Verse number 74, the purport, the last sentence is, unless one properly takes shelter of the holy name, he cannot be relieved from the offensive stage in this chanting of the holy name. What does it mean to take proper shelter of the holy name?
We recite the 10 offenses, and we follow the 4 regulative principles. So if one is chanting Hare Krishna, but one is not following the regulative principles, then that's called offensive chanting. So, chanting Hare Krishna, especially kirtan, if one is leading the kirtan, and one is taking the position of leading the devotees in approaching Krishna through the holy name. So therefore, it's a very great responsibility. So I remember when I was your guys' age, the one who was chosen to lead the kirtan or to offer the arti, there was always someone who was like most exemplary in their sadhana and all of their devotional activities, relationship with devotees, perceivable sadhana, humility. It was kind of like a reward simultaneous that we want this devotee to do this privileged activity because by his doing it, Krishna will be pleased, just like no one can appease Lord Nrsimhadev. This is an extraordinary example. And ultimately, Lord Brahma, the chief of all demigods, he said, only Prahlad Maharaj, you Lakshmi Devi yourself? And the Lord wasn't going to be appeased by her in that mood, but only Prahlad Maharaj could go forward and appease the Lord. And when the Lord is appeased, then everybody becomes happy. So we want the best pure devotee to lead us in the chanting, to speak the Shastra, to worship the deity. So when Srila Prabhupada is present, then everybody, no argument, no dispute. He's the best devotee. Not for material considerations. Who's got the most temporary charisma, good looks, or strong in argument. What is it in Kali Yuga? One who is the most audacious, he'll be the successful, word jugglery. And pure devotees can actually pick up right away. They can understand what one's mentality or motivation is, especially in devotional writing. If there's any hint of rasa bas. A simple villager picked up some English through listening. He memorized only a few English words such as yes, no, and very good. But he never attempted seriously to understand the application of these words in the proper context. He only knew that a sort of respect for an English-speaking person could be attained by using words in front of people. If it's from London, then it must be first class, Once a few dacoits, murderers, made a plan to kill somebody and then escape, making it look as if the villager had been the culprit. When the villager was brought to the law court, the judge asked him in his native Bengali, so you have a chance to, talking to you man to man in your own language, asked him, did you commit the murder? The foolish villager thought that if he could speak some English in front of the judge, then the judge might have great respect for him, considering him to be a follower of Western culture and knowledge. And thus be relieved from this terrible allegation of murder. Contemplating thus, the villager replied to the judge, yes. The judge asked, was there anyone else with you? Still speaking in his native language. Promptly the villager replied, no. Then the judge said, do you realize that you will have to go to prison for the rest of your life? Now the villager thought that he should put forth his protest against such an injustice, such an outrage, by applying his last resort, a 2-word compound. Very, very sophisticated, complicated. In order to confirm that he was a perfect gentleman, and that he did not commit the murder, and that he should never be thrown into prison, he replied to the judge's question, saying, Very good. And his purport is like, bam, right between the eyebrows. Even in the field of devotional service, many people often deliver a lot of scriptural quotes in a parrot-like fashion without proper understanding of the instructions. Leading kirtan is serious business, equally, if not even more, because it's the Yuga-dharma. Without proper understanding of the instructions, religious terminology, and the injunctions that they receive from the pure devotees, they simply hanker for respect from the people in that manner. The words of the sadhu, the sound vibration that the sadhu makes, must elevate people ultimately to be completely renovated in their eternal staibhav, loving relationship with Krishna. If you don't have that potency, because you've not been admitted yourself into that realm, and what to speak of given the power of eternity to bring others there, then what is your motivation? But eventually their position becomes similar to that of this villager. In case the scriptural quotes and authoritative injunctions are not properly assimilated and digested, the righteous community of actual pure devotees never appreciates them. It is also not possible to relieve from the clutches of Maya or illusion through such parrot-like verbiage. You know, like, what's her name? Big Mama Thornton in the subway, and like wailing it out, beautiful sound vibration. Of course, one time we were in her spot, and she just like started cursing like a longshoreman. You know, that's, you know, ordinary people think, oh, this is great, but we just see it as like, you know, just some like hideous creature of hell just braying in the most outrageous sound vibration. You know. It is often observed in public meetings, assemblies, and popular mundane literature that so-called men of letters of modern civilization deliver such ludicrous verbosity on the subjects of devotion, devotees, and the Supreme Godhead. Pure devotees simply consider those deliberations similar to those of the villager mentioned above, who did not realize anything beyond, yes, no, and very good. Those persons are ultimately destined to suffer imprisonment under the merciless clutches of Maya.
Oh my God.
All right, so we've taken a lot of your time, so we can do what we want to do, what we need to do, which what we want to do should be what we need to do. That's why we want to do it, because we need to do it, and that's it. Hare Krishna.
This is a comment from Ishwari Janava Mataji. She says, watching my favorite type of classes, even from Sridham Mayapur.
Sridham Mayapur ki jai.
Yeah.
What time is it there? It's a little 9 o'clock. It's 7:21 in the morning, in the evening.
It says, oh glories to your selfless service to humanity. Much love.
Hare Krishna. Look forward to getting some mercy from the holy Dhams. Hare Krishna.